Good evening. This is the video newsletter for buysellshort.com for Monday, July 21st. Pretty choppy session today. No real traction. A lot of selling. People a little bit hesitant after the rally of last week, and we had oil popping back. Given there was a big sell off last week, and then they started pushing the hurricane rumors. Anything to keep the price of oil up. Here we have the Dow 15-minute chart. We broke over the 200-day moving average on Thursday and Friday and got all the way up to our breakout area, but we've been consolidating here since Friday. We are in this bearish rising wedge up at resistance, and it's possible we could see a retrace, especially if oil pops. We could go either way. If we pull up the daily chart, we've made it all the way back up to the upper limit of the bullish falling wedge on the daily chart, going back to the May highs. So if we don't get a breakout over 11, maybe 550, then we're looking at a retrace probably down to the 11,200 area before we make another attempt. RSI has been stopped under 50. Stochastics are pretty overbought as well. So right now I would say neutral to a downside bias in the market, unless of course we get some earnings news to push it up. Things may change a little though. We had Goldman Sachs actually come out today and give a neutral rating on the semiconductor sector, which means they have started buying and rotating their money from commodities into technologies. However, as of this moment, Texas Instruments is halted in after hours. Not sure what the news is, but they're crossing trades on the SMH at the lows. So possibly a warning is coming from Texas Instruments. They were due to report tomorrow, so who knows what the news is. So that could throw a little curveball on the market and be the excuse tomorrow. But anyway, as for plays, IVAN, Ivanhoe Energy, we've played this many times. Looks like it has a possible bottom here, especially with them trying to bounce oil. Upside target here would be 290 plus. Last couple of days we found a bottom at the 260 area and a nice reversal. We've got stochastics deeply oversold, more oversold than it was on the last couple of bounces. And when this one bounces, it usually goes pretty big. So we should see a gap on this one tomorrow. Sirius, big winner for us here. Did exactly what we said. I mentioned last week it was due for a 50-day moving average test. Boom, we got that today. As I mentioned in the trading alert, good idea to book 3/4 of your trading shares profits here. We started buying this one 3 weeks ago at in the 180s, and it got as high as 240s today. So that's almost a 30% gain in 3 weeks. Cannot argue with that. Would be looking now to add dips back to the 20-day exponential. We've got merger news coming, so who knows what's going to happen. Sit on the long-term shares, but good idea to book profits in the trading shares. Napster, another huge winner for us. Target was the 20-day exponential, and then medium-term target was the 50-day moving average. We were buying at the 110 and under area, and it hit 148 today for a 40% plus move in less than a week. Yippee! Cannot argue with that. Another monster home run we hit out of the park here. Circuit City. Trading alert the other day extended its gains today. This one's got eyes on its 20-day exponential that is up in the 250 plus area. Would look to add dips below 220 on this one. RSI coming out of the basement. Stochastics, we broke the downtrend line here, so this one's looking really good. We'll be looking to add scalps on any dips. New trading alert play today, IDEV. Indevis Pharmaceuticals got destroyed on the FDA. They have a drug that's approved in Europe. Had one or two minor incidences with the drug. People coughed when they got it. Coughed, okay? And the FDA has said they'll approve it after a study. These guys have a bunch of drugs on the market, 70 million in annual sales. And in case you haven't noticed, European biotechs or European farmers have been coming in and gobbling up small cap US biotechs lately. These guys have a good cast position. We got the first close over the 20-day exponential since the tank, and this one really could bust loose to the 225 plus area near term. Stops on this one would be 170. RSI, nice uptrend. Stochastics looks really good, and we're about to get a positive ADX cross. So this one looks really, really attractive here for a small cap biotech. GMBA Jamba Juice trading alert on Friday. Mirror setup of Napster. If we actually go back to Napster, this is what Napster looked like. Boom. Here's the Jamba Juice chart. Looking for the same action. A move back to the 20-day exponential at a $1.50. Stops 110. RSI deeply oversold. We're about to get a positive MACD cross, and stochastics in the basement and ready to turn. So this one looks really, really good for our next big popper play. CHTR, Charter Communications, trading alert on Friday. Once we get a break of 108, target on this one is 115 to 120 with 95-cent stops. RSI is coming off the bottom. We got a positive MACD cross today, and stochastics are in a nice uptrend. So this one we've tagged many, many times in the past for nice big moves. And the chart set up here says we're coming upon another big move on this chart near term. Last but not least, LSCC, Lattice Semiconductor, reports earnings on Thursday. Steep sell-off with the semis over the last month, but this one hasn't touched its 20-day exponential and always snaps back to it. So I'm thinking this is going to get an earnings run over the next couple of days. Of course, Texas Instruments might throw a spanner in the works, but chart here looks good. It was strong the last 2 days after being nothing but weak for 3 weeks. RSI out of the basement. It gets a positive MACD crossover tomorrow, and stochastics are also coming up over 20, which is another buy signal here. Stops on this one would be today's lows at 264, and first target is 290 plus. Back to Ivan, it's a play on the pop and oil, but another one to keep an eye on as well is BCON. That one actually looks like it might go on a little run here tomorrow, so keep a very close eye on that one. It might give us a nice scalp to the 150s. And that's actually it for the video tonight. I will see you guys in the chat room tomorrow. Good night.